I move that the House take note of miscellaneous business. The Honourable Pete Hodson.
The Prime Minister has an instinct which is that when anything occurs that's got anything to do with law-breaking or rorts, his instinct is to duck and weave, deflect, cover, to abuse, to evade, to play for time, and we've seen it again in the last week or two with Pansy Wong. We've been told that the Prime Minister has instructed his erstwhile Cabinet Minister to go away, say nothing, do not show her face here this week or next week, play it out, reach out for Christmas, wait for some report that should take about 10 minutes to write but is seeming to take longer than that. Don't front, don't explain, don't answer any of the questions that the media reasonably seek. Keep everyone in the dark and hope that it goes away. He'd done that before. He did that with Richard Worth. He said that Richard Worth wasn't that bad. Then he said that Phil Goff was really mean to Richard Worth. Then he said absolutely nothing for a while, and then he sacked him. And then he didn't give a reason. So we had a guy sacked with no reason. Duck, weave, give no answers, make sure that there's just plenty of ducking and weaving going on. And his other trick, he's got another trick. His other trick is to invent new rules. His other trick is to invent new rules. We saw that with Bill English. Bill English was caught with his fingers in the till, and the Prime Minister didn't say, Bill, you are naughty. The Prime Minister said, the rules are wrong. Oh, the rules are wrong. So they're confusing. Now, no other minister was confused. No minister in a previous government or the government before that was confused. But Mr. Key said that Mr. English was dealing with confusing rules, so he was going to change them, and he was going to save the taxpayers' money while he did that. Well, a year on, we know that the taxpayer has not had money saved. We know that ministerial houses cost more than less, so he used deflection to try and get his way through another problem with a rort, and so too with Pansy Wong. Pansy Wong went offshore and broke international travel rules, confessed to doing so. Do you know what the Prime Minister said? Rules are wrong. The rules are wrong, therefore we need to get rid of those. We need to gross those up into salaries. Therefore there won't be any rules to break. Therefore Pansy Wong really didn't break any rules because we shouldn't have had any. Now that is how the Prime Minister works. The Prime Minister has always worked that way, always decides to break the rules, to rewrite the rules rather than front up to the fact that someone's broken them. And in this case, it's absolutely clear that they are broken. How do we know? Well, Pansy Wong said so. That's called a confession. Or there's a bunch of website evidence. That's called irrefutable evidence. Mr. Key doesn't think that. Mr. Key thinks that the thing to do about this is to go away, sit down, hide, say nothing, answer no questions, wait for a report and reach for Christmas. Now, it may be that Pansy Wong herself wanted to leave Parliament. That's certainly what a fellow called Whale Oil thinks, and he's the son of a National Party president. It's certainly what a person who wrote to me anonymously yesterday said. He said, or she said, how long did it take her to resign after she was asked about her husband's from Parliament after her husband's rorting of the travel scheme? 10 minutes, I believe. That's what that anonymous person said. It's certainly what was at the top of her first press release. I'm resigning from Parliament, she said. No, I didn't mean that. I'm just resigning from Cabinet. So I wonder whether the Prime Minister got to her and said, you are not resigning from Parliament anytime soon because I've got a holiday to have in Hawaii. I'm not having it messed up by some by-election in Botany Downs, so go away, say nothing, play for time, reach for Christmas. Then we've got an awful lot of holiday period and we should be able to get ourselves well into New Year, and I'll come back from Hawaii and we'll think about it then. I think that's what's going on, and of course that's how the Prime Minister deals with his own rorts. When he says that he's got a certain number of Transrail shares, and then it's been discovered he's got more, and that he bought them while he was questioning Transrail in opposition, he says, sorry, I forgot. When it's been discovered that his blind trust has got 2020 vision, he says, no it hasn't, it's legally, theoretically, absolutely blind. In practice, it's true that everyone can see straight through it, but in theory it's blind, so that's okay, let's not worry about it. Prime Minister has an instinct, and the instinct is not to tell the truth.
The question is that the motion be agreed to.